because the one thing we do know about life is that change is constant, and it's just about how we ride that wave. So my intention is just to support anybody that maybe through, some life challenges come up, to like really just be in a space of empowerment and to take what's happening and use it in a way that you can actually, instead of life happening to you, actually being the one to be the driver of that bus. Because sometimes, I don't know, I've been through a heck of a lot of transition, and I help my clients through transition, and through the process that I'm going to share today, it really is a place of empowerment where you can actually just understand what life is doing with you as a co-creative process. So here's what I was thinking. It's like, here we are, we're like walking through life, everything is good, and then all of a sudden, life throws you this curveball and you're in this ditch. Here you are, okay? Is it backwards on there? So anyway, you're in this spot, and in that spot, it may be a breakup, a money situation, a health situation, physical symptoms of the ascension process. Maybe you've been single for a while and it's getting frustrating. Maybe there's a change in your home. Job change. Maybe you're feeling stuck in your business, and you're, feeling stuck in life and not sure how to go through. So when we're in this ditch space, what happens is our body and our mind starts to go into fight and flight and survival mode. So what happens is, like, all of our attention and our energy gets constricted. And then what happens is we start to look outside of ourselves where the solution can come. Okay, what happens is, like, we start constricting because we're starting to put our focus on the outside of us. And when we want to create, manifest, and make a change in our lives, we have to go within. So we want to really pay attention to what's going on in our energy when life is throwing stuff at us. So the important thing, the first thing that I talk about, is to feel what's coming up for you, because I truly believe that whatever's happening in our life is for us. And it may not look like it. It may feel terrible, but if we can get to the mindset that life is for us, then again, we can be in that driver's seat of the co-creative process. And so the important thing is to feel what's going on for you. Whether you're angry, you're sad, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're fearful. I feel like what life does is it helps to pull us into these experiences to help us allow some of the energy to move through us. So feel what's going on, and don't stuff down your feelings, because what's happening is when we're stuffing down our feelings, it's showing up again, another experience and another experience. Life will continue to do that because we're meant to be free. We're meant to be happy, and anything that's in our way from holding us back from feeling free and happy and enjoying life needs to come up and be released. And when we stuff our feelings down, it can show up as illness, disease, anxiety, fear, and so let it flow. So now we're in this space, and so we're having our feelings, and we're realizing, okay, I know that I cannot get out of this space by focusing on what is so much is going on here. So the second piece, to help bring our energy to a space of where we can be the driver of our life, is to get into a space of observation, just clearly sticking to the facts. So for example, okay, my car broke down. That's it. State of the facts. Not like, going into the drama of the stories. Oh, well, if I had done this, or if I hadn't done that, or something else had happened, or, just sticking to the facts. Whether, okay, yeah, I'm single right now. Yep, my bank account says 0. Yep, my car is broken down. Just stick to the facts, because that helps to bring the energy level and your emotional level and your nervous system to a space and state of calm. So now you're in that state. And that's the other thing too. So in this state of observation, what happens is, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but I'll say it because it's so pertinent, is that when, if we change the way we look at things, the things that we look at change. Boom, right? And so that's why it's important to just stick to the facts and stay out of the drama. Now, when we're in this space, what happens sometimes, they're like, okay, well, the third part of here is be open to possibilities. Okay. So now you're in this situation, you're in this ditch. And what happens is if like we're in our mindset where we're like, okay, well, the only way that I'm going to get out of here is if I have a ladder. I hope you guys are getting this metaphor. Is if I have a ladder. Well, if we're only like sitting here waiting for a ladder, waiting for a ladder, waiting for a ladder, well, that might not be part of what the whole process and the growth and the learning and the path that we're on is this ladder is going to come into our lives. So when you're in the situation, getting to the space of like, okay, life is for me. I'm sticking to the facts. What are the possibilities here? Well, I don't know. A rope can come down. A friend can come help. And this is the important thing too, is that from this space, well, I don't know, maybe an earthquake can happen, right? Maybe something crazy like an earthquake can happen, or water can come flooding in and then we'll just like float to the top. Now, initially we may be like, an earthquake, that's terrible, or a flood, that's terrible. Well, this is the part of where we need to surrender in life, because we don't know exactly what the bigger picture is. So if we surrender and be totally unattached to what the pathway is out of our ditch, it just opens the possibilities to even beyond what our own mind can comprehend. So remember, we're working with the universe here. We're working with universal energy. And if we're just so focused on one solution, that may not be part of it. So when we open our mind up, it just allows so much more to come through. Okay, so we want to think about, all right, what's possible? And the other piece of this is like, okay, there must be an opportunity here. All right, there must be an opportunity for me here. So let's just say the water comes in and we end up floating to the top of this experience. Somehow or another, for my example, I was loaned a car. My car broke and I loaned a car. Well, that was freaking amazing. Maybe out of nowhere, a long lost uncle sends $5,000 in the mail. Maybe, I don't know, a friend invites you out to a happy hour and you end up meeting this really handsome guy or girl, and now you have somebody that you've been looking for your whole life. So, again, not totally focused on solutions, being open to possibilities. And when life like presents something, say yes, show up. Okay, so now you're floating to the top. And here's the piece where faith and trust come in, because now we're floating to the top. And if we've been trying to, we've had, okay, yeah, my life is moving along this way, this is where I'm going, But when we get put into these situations, sometimes what life happens, you like my picture so far, is that now you're being shot off into this direction, or maybe you're being shot off into this direction, or you're being led down this path. Okay. So, I just heard a story the other day, or I read a story on Facebook where this woman got in this really bad car crash and she nearly died. And like a few years later, she's now married to the doctor, and they're doing amazing things in the world. So again, if we're in this space and we're like, I really want this love of my life. I want, $1 million. I want the successful business. I want, this certain home or whatever. We have to be open to where life leads us, because it can be in a better space than we could have even imagined for ourselves. So I know it sounds super simple, and it's so much harder when you're in the middle of it, but I can promise to you, like, if you allow the feelings that life is triggering you to feel, if you can, remain in a space of knowing that life is for me, and stay in a space of observation and just trusting that, that by looking at the facts, stating the facts, and staying out of the stories and out of the drama, and then trying to find what's good. So, you guys, this is not the first time you're going to hear, get into a space of gratitude. The thing is what happens when people are trying to manifest and create in their lives, they get into this ditch and then they want to go right here. They just want to be here, and then they're only focused on this one thing, and then their solution is only this one way. And the most uncomfortable part of this life's journey is surrender and having trust and having faith. But it's like a muscle. The more you do it, the more that you start to experience miracles, the more that you start to understand how you yourself are the driving force of your life. Yeah. So when things happen, trust that it's happening for some reason on some level, and then allow yourself to be open to possibilities of what's going to get you out of the situation. And I think that's it. It's like, it's easy to look back and be like, oh, that's why that happened. But imagine how much stress and how much, anxiety and overwhelm and fear that we can save ourselves at just trying to remember, okay, this is for us. This is for me. If there's an opportunity here somewhere. And just to remember, life brings us these things to help us move the energy, anything that's in our way of being our most powerful self. So I'm so glad you all tuned in. Thank you so much. I feel like it is what it is, and I hope it's inspiring, and I really want you guys to know how empowered you are and that life is for you no matter how hard it may be at times. And we are in this really powerful time of creating, just like truly owning what it is that we want for our lives. And part of that is letting go of the crap that we've been holding on to feel safe, or that we think we need in order to, be worthy of having an amazing life. So sometimes the letting go is hard, the surrender piece is hard, but hold on to trust and faith and feel whatever it is that you need to feel. So I hope that made you tingle inside and excited about what you are capable of creating. And if this was helpful, feel free to share it. If you have any comments or you want to send me a note, please do. I am so grateful for you guys for showing up. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.